What's up everyone, my name is Jesse, this is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself, or in this case, visual novel music, which I've always allowed. And today we return with one of the rare times on the channel I've done a visual novel. We're going to be hearing, and this is a debut by the way, from Muv-Luv. Let me know if I'm saying that right. We're going to be hearing Martial Law and Original Hive. Both are from the channel Muv Lunch. Requested by Darton over on Patreon. Thank you very much. Well, you know, before I even started, I know very little of visual novels, so it's gonna be kind of different than your typical video game reaction where, you know, I'm trying to think of like a setting and maybe like what's going on. When it comes to visual novels, I kind of just want to focus really like on the music, because I know there's gonna be dialogue happening for the most part. And I can maybe imagine like a background, but I just want to focus on the music. And yeah, anyways, let's get into Martial Law. Very interesting title. Have the people said enough? And is enough. All right, Muv-Luv. Oh, by the way, it says Muv-Luv Alternative OST. Let's go. This is Martial Law. Seeing some mech stuff. Actually, a lot of mechs. Damn. No composer information. Ooh. Sounds a little military. Ooh. Oh, it's layering. Things are building on top of it. All of a sudden it sounds like an Ace Combat song or mission. Oh, it keeps changing. Sounds kind of like Star Wars territory now. It's so dynamic, it keeps changing. Oh. Full-on symphony? What? I'm not gonna lie, I totally judged a book by its cover for a while. Admittedly, I didn't even see the mechs until, like, you know, shortly after the video started, because my microphone is kind of covering it. I just saw the title Muv-Luv. I'm like, okay, maybe this is some kind of like high school romance thing, or I don't know. And then I looked over here to the right and I was like, oh, there's mechs and stuff. All of a sudden the whole like tone of everything shifted. Everything sounds now like an Ace Combat mission. And that song was so incredibly dynamic. It sounded like preparation, takeoff, and conflict all at once, but it kept changing. Like the rhythm kept changing. It kept throwing new things. You guys are gonna have to help me out with this one because I don't know if visual novel songs loop a lot or if they even come back. Like I don't know. Like does this come back ever again in the I guess I'll just call it a game, or does it just like appear once? So as I was hearing that, something came into my head, and I was like, oh. Well, now that I think about it, I think a visual novel has just about the same, if not more, creative freedom to do stuff with the music than, I guess, the standard video game, because since so little is happening on screen, and I use air quotes on that, it kind of gives more expression. There's more room for expression, I guess, maybe? It feels like that, you know? I feel like if I'm reading something on screen and seeing some characters' portraits, by the way, I've never played a visual novel, so I don't know. I just imagine it in my head. This is what I think a visual novel is. It's like someone on screen not moving or moving their lips, just like a picture of someone speaking, a thought bubble or speech bubble, and then just like slides. You're just moving along, right? That's. Let me know if there's any more depth to that. Let me know if there's any like QTEs or any sort of gameplay attached to them. I'm sure there's some out there, but I don't know like the basic premise of them. That's just what I think. Anyways, so with that in mind, that's what I have in my head. I'm thinking like if I were to hear that while I'm seeing dialogue, it sounds like a gradually intensifying conversation where someone like I could almost see someone's face like getting more and more irate, or you know, like it sounds like it's getting intense, kind of like you had your chance, da da da, and now you've gone and done it. You know, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like we were, yeah, damn. So, yeah, that's why visual novels are so fascinating to me, is because I know they're like their own sort of media, but they have a huge fan base. And I know they kind of, they expand, you know, I think there's games from them, there's, I think, there's manga from them, there's a lot of stuff that comes from them, or they're a part of something. If you guys know any examples of, if you know multiple examples, like for example, like, I'm saying example too much. If you know an instance where something then got turned into a visual novel, let me know. But also, let me know if something started as a visual novel and then became something else. Like, maybe even became bigger than the original concept. I think, there's a lot of thinking here. I think the most well-known is Ace Attorney. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You know, generally known by like everybody. I think that's the most popular. But up until like a year ago, I think my whole life I thought that was just a game, or an anime actually. So I learned a lot on this channel. Anyways, that was cool and really intense, and it sounded like Doom is approaching. So, I mean, the name is martial law, so that's interesting. The next song is Original Hive. Mind you, I have no idea if these songs are connected at all. For the most part, in my head, they're probably not. But you never know. I was not told that they are, so I'm going to assume they're not. And this channel doesn't have any information on them. Okay. Also, I think this thing is broken. This like smoke should be like coming up here, so I just keep staring at it. Anyways, it smells good though. Oh, so the first one was Muv-Luv Alternative OST Volume 1. This is OST Volume 2. But it's still Muv-Luv Alternative. Okay, anyways, Original Hive. Hive? Okay, I'm seeing more and more mechs come out. This is cool. Or, it seems interesting. It seems like a cool way to pass the time, you know? Okay, Original Hive. Or Trying to predict the chord changes. I don't know where it's gonna go. Maybe drums. Ooh, that's powerful. Yeah! Alright, let's go. You got sunglasses at home. It's time to put them on. That was such a sick intro. Ooh, calm down. God, I love good beat. I was expecting maybe drums, but like an actual drum set. This is way better. It fits, it fits. Sounds like an early 2000s movie, like The Matrix or Blade or something. When was Blade? Was that the 90s? 98. Ooh. I caught that. Oop. Oh, that was it? Oh. No. All right. I guess I think I answered my own question. I think something has to loop if you don't proceed on, right? If you don't keep going with it. Okay. Yeah, you know, I can't help but feel, you know what's funny is it went from like Ace Combat sounding stuff to like Armored Core. And I think that'd be more fitting, you know, the whole mech thing and the, like if you've heard music from Armored Core, it can kind of get into this sort of thing, this sort of like a jungle drum and bass thing. But the operatic part was really cool because I've always been a big fan of genres kind of mashing together where there were definitely from like two different worlds. You know, you can never imagine when people were starting to do like opera and the fan base for it, you would never expect it to, you know, it wasn't until, I don't know at what it had to have been like in the 80s or something when DJ started to become more prevalent, actually late 70s. But, you know, when people started to be able to mix music together as opposed to just live music or albums, you know, when we had turntables and stuff, that's when kind of music to me was like it was pretty much like discovering, I don't know, water or something. Like you know, it just opened so many doors. Like, oh wait, you could put this with that and, you know, da-da-da-da. So that was really cool because it turns out that some of my, like some really cool songs, I can't think of any at the top of my head right now, but I think we all have one, at least in our pocket, where we think of like a really cool combination of sounds. And obviously this one has like this vocal operatic thing with like a very 2000s, you know, drum and bass and electronic feel. I'm personally a fan of like when flamenco meets an actual drum set or a bass. Think of Vamos Allá Flamenco from FF9. That flamenco is just, you know, a guitarist, their fingernails and the strings, and maybe a dancer. So when you start to hear like or you know some, you know, just things like that, you know. So that's why I've always had like a respect for like DJs and stuff, that people that can actually master doing all that kind of stuff. Anyways, that was, well, you know, I don't see the word curious. I say it too much, but I'm definitely interested, you know. By the way, I'm doing another video on this exact same series right after this, so I get to hear more. But, you know, the name, Muv-Luv, or Muv-Luv, whatever. And then the two types of genres we just heard, knowing that, well, not knowing, I don't want to say knowing, but assuming that this is a mostly text-based media, right? People have tried to explain, they have explained visual novels before, but you guys have to understand, my ability these days, honestly, which sucks, because it never used to be this way, but my ability to retain information from one comment to the next, you know, it's I would have to go back to those visual novel comment sections and then remember that, you know. And visual novels are so rare here. I've done like 4 or 5, maybe, you know. And but they always have a huge fan base. People always recommend stuff, so it's pretty cool. And from what I've seen, just by the way, just kind of a side note, but I think there's no other way to, there's no better chance to ask this. From the footage that I've seen of Persona, which is very little, would you guys say that that game has visual novel inspirations? Because it seems like it. But it seems like a visual novel you can play. Because every time I see anyone playing it, there's just text on screen and people talking. But obviously there's gameplay. But there's a lot. So, would you guys say, I'm not asking if you would call it a visual novel, but like, does it have those elements? Anyways, can't wait to learn more. Okay, great, quite a introduction to Muv-Luv. Original Hive, I like that title. It makes me think of like a, well, bees, but it makes me think of like an army, and it looks from this image something, but the original part really makes me interested. It looks like these are the leaders right here. Not sure where the image is split down the middle. What was the image here? Oh, what the heck? The image is split here too. I didn't even notice that. Okay. Let me know what's going on here. Alright. Thank you, Darton, for the request. I have the other video coming up, and I'm ready for more. More Muv-Luv. I'm always weary about saying something until someone tells me how to actually say it, because I'm going to sound stupid. Anyways, thank you to all my Patreon members here. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Peace.